We're waiting on Afi. A few more
people coming in. More. Yeah, we can start now.
All good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all back, even though it's only a Zoom call, but it's very important that we communicate, stay in touch as national players, male and female. Today, we've got a special guest in Sam Whiteman, Warriors, Perth Scorchers, wicketkeeper, opening batsman, or top order batsman. I was fortunate enough, I knew Sam's dad and saw Sam grow up from a junior cricketer as to a professional cricketer and actually go on to represent Australia. So welcome, Sam. Thanks very much for your time today, and hopefully we can share some ideas about training, some highs and lows, and yeah, just share some of your knowledge as a professional cricketer. So welcome, Sam. Thanks very much.
Ya, dari Andy tadi dia bilang kita kedatangan tamu hari ini dari Perth. Jadi kita kedatangan tamu namanya Sam Whiteman. Nah, Sam ini main di salah satu tim di Australia namanya Perth Scorchers sebagai top order batsman and wicketkeeper as well. Ya, wicketkeeper juga. Nah, terus hari ini kita mau tanya-tanya sharing karirnya dia di dunia kriket profesional seperti apa. Untuk yang baru masuk, mungkin bisa di-mute supaya kita bisa dengar jelas. Alright, Sam, thank you so much for your time coming in, have a chat with us. Let's get started. So, you can tell us, you know, how do you come to love cricket or into cricket? Is it family thing, family affair, or yeah?
Yeah, I think cricket for me was definitely a family thing. I remember as a young boy just playing cricket in the backyard with my dad and brother, very Australian sort of growing up. And we're going to watch Dad play cricket and just hanging around him all day and trying to get guys to throw balls to me all day. So I think I've definitely loved cricket from a young age, and it's it's carried through with me.
Great. What do you love the most about the sport?
What do I love the most about cricket? I guess the mateship. Very lucky in cricket that being a team sport that I get to go and play, or get to go to a day's work and play with 10 other mates. It's pretty lucky. I get to travel Australia, and I've travelled a bit of the world as well playing cricket. So I think the thing I most love is definitely the friendships and the mateships. And I think you hear people who've retired and finished playing cricket, the biggest thing they all say is they miss the mateship the most. So, yeah.
I guess it's the same for everyone here. Everyone loves to go around, to travel with their teammates. And, actually getting new friends, even, just travel from city to city to play cricket. It's the same with everyone here. Jadi tadi saya nanya ke Sam gimana dia kenal kriket, terus apa yang dia paling suka dari kriket. Jadi kata Sam dia dari keluarganya, semua keluarganya main kriket, terus dia paling suka dengan bisa main bareng-bareng sama 10 orang lainnya, tur bareng-bareng keluar ke negara lain atau ke tempat lain bareng teman-temannya. Jadi itu yang paling dia suka. So what's the pathway you took, from early on play cricket that got you here now with the Scorchers?
Yeah. Look, as a kid, you're growing up, you just want to play cricket. You don't really think about the future too much. You just want to bat, and you just want to. In my case, I always loved keeping, because I think in junior cricket you get thrown out the field, you touch the ball once every 20 overs. Keeping, you're always in the game, so that's one thing I loved about keeping. But Pathway, I was very lucky to, so I've got a 4-month-old baby in the background who never shuts up. But I think I was very fortunate to have a couple of really good parents who would, supported me through my childhood, and some very good coaches as well that have helped me get where I am. So I think they're the biggest two things. If you can surround yourself with people who support you and who believe in you. I was lucky because I knew from a young age that I wanted to play professional sport. And the pathway was pretty clear, but I think that's the biggest thing is the people around you.
When did you first play cricket?
I reckon I was, 7 or 8, I reckon. Yeah, first, I think Dad dragged me down to, under 10s or under 11s team, and just, I think I didn't really bat, didn't really bowl, just ran around and just got into the swing of things.
And then you made through under 15 Australia, is it? Or under 19 Australia?
Yeah, I played, luckily got picked in the state 15s and then got picked for the Australian 15s. So we did a tour to England, and that was, 15 going to tour England. That was a pretty, gave me a little taste of what professional cricket could be like. We played against a good England team. I think Joe Root was the captain, actually. So I think that was a good taste, and definitely wanted me to play professional cricket.
Tell me about what it feels like to be a 15-year-old in different country, touring with your teammates, and as a 15-year-old, what do you feel about it?
I guess you're just trying to, you're pretty naive to most things. You're just trying to play cricket, and I guess one thing I really noticed is professionalism, and I guess you get left up to your own devices a lot, and you're not babied. I guess you're if you want to miss training, you miss training. If you want to train, you can train hard. So I think that was good exposure for me to get, get left to my own devices, and I can work out how to get better myself.
Jadi tadi saya tanya Sam, dia dari kecil gimana cara main, udah berapa lama main kriket, terus dia bilang dari umur 7, dan dia masuk ke tim Australia KU15. Nah, di situ dia tur ke Inggris. Nah, di situ dia untuk pertama kalinya terbang sama teman-temannya, terus punya pengalaman yang unik lah dalam dunia profesional kriket. Nah, terus di situ dia juga belajar banyak dari tur itu, dan itu membuat dia pengen jadi pemain profesional. So, playing in an early age, we have some a study case. I've read some study case or an article about it. High performance in early age. What do you think that you went to under 15 to England, and what do you think of how it should be trained? What are the important things a coach should give to young kids around the high performance side of it?
I think I think about that under 15 Australian tour was that it was good. It gives everyone a taste of being a professional cricketer. But I think the biggest learning curve is actually playing. That's when we all learn the most, is when you're often learning through mistakes and game experience. So I think that's the best thing coaches can do, is organise as many practice games, centre wickets. The best way to learn is in the middle. Having said that, though, you never, I look back at that national under 15s team. I reckon there was only 2 of us that ended up playing state professional cricket. So just because you're good at a young age, I think doesn't guarantee that you're going to play professional cricket. You've still got to keep getting better and keep finding ways to get better. I think a lot of people, can be quite satisfied playing Australian under 15s. You think, you've made it, but that's not often the case.
Great point there. Jadi tadi saya nanya Sam, gimana pengalaman di under 15-nya atau KU15-nya. Nah, dia bilang di KU15 itu sebenarnya yang paling berharga itu pas pengalaman mainnya. Jadi main di groundnya, bukan masalah latihan kerasnya atau segala macam. Karena udah terpilih di dalam tim U15 belum tentu bisa kepilih lagi di U17, U18, U19 dan seterusnya. Jadi dia bilang tetap harus latihan, tapi memang pengalaman paling penting di sana adalah ketika bermain. Jadi nggak ada pengalaman yang jauh lebih mengesankan atau dia bisa belajar banyak dari waktu bermain dia di lapangan. We're going to open up questions to the floor here or to the screen. We've got some athletes. Well, most of them are athletes and national teams, provincial. So, first question will be from.
Go on. I'll just start it off.
Here.
Go ahead.
I'll just start it off.
Sam, just one question before we open it up to the national players and everyone that's on this Zoom call is about your training. Like, I knew from a young age that you really wanted it. Like, you used to phone me up in the morning before school and have a training session, and then phone me up on the same day after school and have another training session. For the national players, like, I've been trying to explain, a lot of being a professional sportsman is about yourself, about what you can control yourself, like your fitness and your training programs, obviously wicket keeping and batsmen, sharing a lot of time doing those things. Any advice you could give to these cricketers just on a training schedule? Like, what motivates you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I've been pretty lucky to have some good coaches. Even when I first started playing for Western Australia, it was my first year, and Justin Langer, it was his first year as well. So I was, and he was massive on fitness. And at the time, I was thinking, Jesus, running 15 Ks isn't going to help me score runs. But looking back on it, it does. And it's not a point. It's not also about the fitness. It's about being uncomfortable. And, when you're running 10 Ks, you've got to find the mental strength to keep going. And then it's like in the middle when you're batting and you're on zero and you can't seem to score a run, you need that same mental strength. So, I think it comes down to personal drive, doesn't it? I think it's pretty simple. Hard work. It pays off. It might not it might not straight away, but I believe it pays off.
No, fantastic. So for all you players out there, self-motivation, self-starting, some things that you can control is your health and your fitness. So thanks, Sam. We'll leave it open to the national players now. Thanks, mate.
Funny thing there, because we had a call with Justin Langer as well a couple of weeks ago, and I asked a question around what's the most important thing players should have, and he said fitness. So it still doesn't change at all. Kalau mau ada yang pertanyaan, silakan. Tombol reaction.
Boleh nanya, Pak?
Ya, boleh. Ada dari Sulis. Pakai bahasa Inggris ya?
Boleh. Apa di chat aja? Soalnya ini agak putus-putus sih.
Enggak kok, lancar.
Oh enggak, ya udah. Saya ada 3 pertanyaan buat yang nggak apa-apa. Nanti mungkin yang mana aja boleh dijawab. Sam, I have 3 questions. Yes. As a wicket keeper, you should know how to identify kind of style the batter that will face the ball. How do you do it? Number 1. Number 2, Do you prefer footwork or head position when batting, and why? And number 3, do you have pre-match routine that help you still focus on the match? Yes.
So I think it was cutting
Thank
out a
you.
little bit there.
There you go.
Yeah, makasih
Can you
Sulis.
explain that, Afi?
Yeah, so basically she asks one, you have to, like as a wicketkeeper, you have to know your bowler's
Style.
position to that. Second one, I forgot second one. Third one, do you prefer footwork or head position when you're batting?
Head position.
And what's the third one?
Do you have pre-match routine
Oh, yeah,
that help you still
routine.
focus on the match?
Do you have a pre-match routine that helps you focus when you're on the match?
Yeah. So I'll start with the pre-match routine. Look, I think you have to be pretty flexible as a professional cricketer with your pre-match routine. Because you're playing at different grounds and they might not have certain facilities. So for me, it's just about getting to the ground with enough time to get set up and just make sure that when I go out to the middle, I'm not rushed or anything like that. So ideally hit a few balls in the nets or get someone to throw me some and just make sure I just like to feel a couple out of the middle of the bat, basically. Whether it takes, 5 balls or whether it takes 100 balls. That's sort of my pre-game routine. And the second question, I think footwork or head position, I think they sort of both go side by side, don't they? I think for me, as a left-hander, it's probably more crucial than right-handers. But I think for me, my big focus is always on my head position. If my head position is in a nice balanced position, then my feet can move exactly where I want them to. And I can't remember what the first question was.
When you're wicket keeping, Sam, you have a good idea of obviously the pace of the bowlers, at who the bowlers are, the Warriors, obviously through practice. I don't know. So some of the bowlers like left arm spinners, off spinners, obviously you have a plan at training of, if they're going to, for example, signal a slower ball, do you have like a communication with the bowler and yourself? If he's going to bowl a bouncer, do you have like any communication as wicketkeeper and opening bowler or spin bowler?
No, there's no communication. It's just from getting to know your teammates, I guess, from facing them in the nets, from keeping to them in practice games and stuff like that. I remember when I first started playing for the Scorchers, keeping to Brad Hogg made me quite nervous because of his wrong. I used to never be able to pick it up in the nets either when I was batting. So I thought, oh crap, I'm in trouble here when I keep. But I think you sort of get to work out your bowlers and you work out, like for me, I worked out Hoggy that you sort of get a sense when he was going to bowl it. So it's just about knowing your teammates, I think.
Yeah, cool. Good. Thanks, Anissa.
Anissa is our wicketkeeper batsman, by the way, so that's why she asks a lot of wicket-keeping tips. All right, next question. Pertanyaan berikutnya. Gede jadi nanya nggak gede?
Halo Pak, sinyalnya jelek sekali. Udah lancar nggak di sana?
Lancar. Ntar saya.
Okay, Mr. Sam, very glad to be you're searching for everything in this cricket Indonesia, and then I would like about as you're a wicket keeper, who's the bowler you have keeping that behind the keeper?
Sorry, udah putus gede.
Jelas
coba
nggak
dipulang lagi.
Jadi siapa yang sebagai wicket keeper dia pernah jaga bola siapa yang paling cepat di timnya dia itu.
Oh, so he's asking who's when you're wicket keeping, who's the fastest bowler you've ever faced? Not faced, I mean received.
Yeah, I'd have to be Mitch Johnson. I played a year with him at the Scorchers, and I played a couple of 4-day games with him for WA. He's definitely the fastest. He's standing miles back, and it's quite intimidating to keep to, and everyone bat to. So he also shattered my finger in about 3 spots and cost me 3 surgeries. So,
Oh no.
Yeah.
He also messaged me earlier. So Gede Dharma is our left-hand batsman as well. So, and he's struggling with spinners. So he asked around tips of when you're facing a spinners, what do you do? How do you improve your skill when you're facing spinners?
I think facing spin. I think it's about using the crease, isn't it? At the end of the day, with all things batting, it comes down to watching the ball. I think for me, sometimes with spin as well, I can forget about actually watching the ball, and I'm premeditating a little bit. So I think it comes back to making sure you're watching the ball out of the bowler's hand, and for me, I'm thinking if the ball goes up out of the hand, I'm going to run at him, and if the ball goes down out of the hand, I'm looking to get right deep in my crease, and making sure I'm using the whole depth of the crease and trying to put off the bowler's length as much as possible.
Good. Okay, ada pertanyaan. Looking for him. Ada pertanyaan lagi? Dari yang posisinya khususnya wicket keeping atau batsman, nanya tips.
Sam, I'll just ask you a quick question. One of the areas that we struggle in a little bit as a national team is actually self-belief. Like, we're very talented, we're quite fit athletes, but it's just that belief in your own ability and as a team that you can actually win. It's almost how do you train mental toughness? As a coach, you can give all the ideas to a player about, practice harder than you'll ever play. Try the impossible in training. But mental toughness as an individual, what advice could you give these players on mental toughness?
That's a tough one. I think you can only gain confidence as a team by winning, really, isn't it? So, and finding ways to win when you probably shouldn't. That's probably the only way you can actually gain confidence. But from a mental toughness side of things, what we try and do in WA here is just try and be uncomfortable when we're training. We have net sessions where once you're out, you rotate out of the net. So you could be rotating in and out heaps, which annoys the crap out of all the batters. But I guess it's finding ways, little match scenarios within net sessions, competitions between batters and bowlers, competitions between different batters. That I guess gets you out of your comfort zone, because as humans, we want to be comfortable. We want to go and have some time and feel really great. But probably the best thing for us to do is face things and try and work on what we're actually not good at. That's probably the best.
Yeah, excellent. Good. So out of your comfort zone, training in the heat, training fatigued, all those things, coming back after lunch for an extra session that can help us do the hard stuff. If we train the hard stuff, then when it comes to match practice, we'll be used to the situation. So thank you. Got another one?
Jadi tadi
Afi?
Coach Andy nanya tentang mental toughness atau atau apa ke kekuatan mental. Jadi gimana cara supaya mentalnya tuh bisa kuat. Nah, terus saya menjawab, dia bilang latihan di luar zona nyaman. Jadi latihan pas lagi panas-panasnya atau latihan pas lagi capek-capeknya, kompetisi antara bowler sama batsman ditingkatin lagi. Jadi latihan tapi di luar dari zona nyaman. Seperti itu sih. I've got a question from Gaman. He texted me. So, what is your key to success being a pro player, and what do you focus on when you're performing? What are the things that you focus on when you perform?
Well, the things I focus on when you're performing is you're actually focusing on the right now. I think as batters, you can easily look into the future. You can be on 10 runs and you think, gee, I'm going to score 100 today, and then suddenly you're out a couple of balls later. The bad thing about batting is, you're only ever one mistake away. So looking back, when I've batted really well and scored big runs is when I've just focused on the next ball, worry about the next ball, get through that, then you focus on the next ball. We've all made mistakes, and that's why nervous 90s are a thing, because you start looking into the future instead of focusing on the right now. So a key to success, it's a tough one. Look, I keep coming back to it, but I think hard work is a pretty simple thing. There's not too many professional players that wouldn't talk about hard work. There's always guys that are, going to be working harder than you out there, and that's a focus for me.
Really great point there. I think we know that a lot of our players are struggling with the fear of getting out as a batter. So it's a good point there where you should focus on the next ball, one ball at a time. Jadi saya tanya, ada pertanyaan gimana caranya, apa yang kamu fokusin waktu lagi pertandingan. Nah, dia bilang sebagai batsman itu karena kesalahannya tuh, satu kesalahan bisa costly atau bisa berdampak banyak. Jadi dia bilang mendingan fokusnya ke satu bola. Jadi jangan fokus kayak 5 run ke depan, 10 run ke depan, terus tiba-tiba bola berikutnya tiba-tiba out. Jadi baiknya
dengan ya sebutlah kapital itu semua saya.
Jadi sebaiknya difokusin di per bola gitu. Terus dia bilang kunci sukses nggak ada yang lain dari kerja keras. Jadi banyak pemain profesional yang pasti bilang kerja keras adalah kuncinya. So talking about hard work, how hard do you work? Like, is it 3 a.m. Gym sessions, or what do you consider as a hard work? Because as a professional player, everyone's been doing some hard work. So what do you think that if you wanna excel in pro,
specifically,
what do you think you should do?
Look, well, at the moment, for example, we're training Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and we're just doing weights and running on each of those days, and fielding. No batting as of yet. And then, at the moment, we're probably doing 40 Ks a week running, and then 3 weight sessions on top of that. I think there's also, there's hard work, but you've got to be smart about it as well. Like, if I look at someone, I think of Cameron Bancroft, who hits 1,000 balls in a session, where I wouldn't hit that much. It doesn't mean I'm working less harder than he is. He just might need to hit that many balls on that session, and then the next session it might be the other way around. So I think sometimes cricket, it doesn't, if you hit 1,000 balls, doesn't mean you're working hard. It's about being smart as well.
Testing yourself.
Jadi tadi saya tanya seberapa keras sih biasanya orang latihan di cricket itu, terus dia bilang untuk saat ini dia lari 40 kilo, terus latihan 3 kali seminggu dan jadi termasuk 3 kali sesi weight room atau latihan beban. Nah, terus dibilang ada orang yang memang latihannya contohnya Bancroft 1000 bola untuk betting, dan bukan berarti orang lain yang nggak betting segitu nggak bekerja keras gitu. Mungkin dia harus bekerja secara pintar juga. Jadi apa yang bisa membuat kalian lebih bagus lagi, nah disitulah kalian harus kerja keras atau difokusin di situ.
Afi, just I think on Sam's point as well, and for our national players here, it's about once you understand your game, and once you understand, your strengths about, practicing before, you actually know if you're ready. It's about being, and Justin Langer said the same thing. I can't stop saying that word, but it's about being ready. Once you're ready, it might take you one day like a 500 balls to hit. It might take you 50 balls to hit the next day. It's knowing yourself when you're ready to go. Some days I'd bowl, 6 overs, 10 overs in the nets, 20 overs in the nets. Sometimes I bowl 6 balls, and if it's coming out right and I feel good, I'm ready. I think the players have got to know their own game to know when they're ready.
Jadi kata Coach Edi tadi, pemain juga harus tahu kapan mereka siap. Bukan kapan mereka siap, sorry. Jadi pemain harus selalu siap. Jadi di situ makanya kita latihan supaya kita tahu, kita siap nih buat pertandingan. Apapun tantangannya yang dilempar ke kita bisa ngandelin atau kita bisa mengatasi hal tersebut. Gitu. Kalau ada yang mau nanya pakai bahasa Indonesia bisa saya translate sih. Silakan di unmute aja terus tanya. So what are the steps for you in this? Obviously, like you can't. I don't know. Perth now so you still practice in the Perth?
So
now going into pre-season. Have you started pre-season now, Sam?
Yeah, we started a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
So working on fitness and strength and stuff like that at the moment for pre-season.
So I got a question from Yulia, sorry. Yeah, Yul.
Izin Pak, mau bertanya. Kan tadi dikatakan untuk berlatih di zona nyaman, Pak. Ketika di net itu kan kita merasa nyaman. Itu bagaimana untuk cara melatih kita untuk tidak di zona nyaman? Pertanyaan pertama. Yang kedua, bagaimana sih cara melatih kita untuk fokus tetap di pitch yang tough gitu, Pak? Sedangkan kita berlatih di pitch yang konkret. Karena pernah pengalaman sendiri ketika main di pitch tough itu sama sekali nggak bisa bermain gitu, Pak. Itu, Pak.
Well, this is a tough one. Not sure if you can answer it, but Yulia asked about if you practice on concrete turf, how do you prepare yourself for real turf?
So we do a lot of our training, Sam, on concrete wickets. Yeah. And then we might go to Thailand and play on turf. We don't actually have the facilities of turf nets. So, what advice, again, can you give?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a tough one.
I remember we used to do that in Bunbury all the time. But...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, practice on all concrete wickets, and then you go out and play on turf. I think, as a coach,
did you suddenly feel like you can't play, or?
But it's also, no, I think it's still watching the basics, isn't it? If you're batting, you're watching the ball out the hand, and if you're batting, it's about your footwork and your balance and your technique. And so, ideally, you'd love to train on turf and play on turf, but at the same time, I think the basics are still the same, just the different bounce and the different pace. But
maybe you can tell your experience when you're playing, when you're training in concrete and then playing in the turf.
Yeah, it's about not being complacent as well. When you're batting on concrete all the time as a batsman, you can start driving balls that are not there to drive, and I guess it's knowing yourself that. That's probably not realistic when you get on turf, when the ball might be moving or spinning more. So I I guess there's little drills you can do. You can train on grass more and, try and get used to, if there's some decent grass around, try and get used to some variable bounce on that. But it's a tough one. Yeah, Cots is right. It's a lot of basics. And if you do the basics well, then it should translate into, being able to do the basics on turf.
Yeah.
Jadi kata Sam sama Coach Adi tadi juga intinya basic sih. Sam juga katanya dia bilang dulu sempat latihan di konkret terus main di turf. Memang di turf pasti bolanya lebih gerak, lebih bisa kesana kesini. Tapi kalau belajar basicnya benar pasti bisa mengatasi hal itu sih.
Hey Sam, just one more.
I'm over the time, so yeah.
Sam, you have 10 minutes. Sam, so Yulia that just asked you that question about batting. Yulia opens the batting for our female national team. Currently ranked, I think, 22 in the world now. Done really well. Yulia is actually a world record holder. Want to explain the world record holder, Alfie, to Sam, that she actually opened the batting with a girl called Winder, and I'll let Alfie, world record holder, Yul.
So we went to Philippines, and then she opened the batting with another left-hand batsman, Winder. I'm not sure if she hit it, but she got 200, forgot numbers, 50-something.
257 opening partnership.
Yeah, and then, it also broke the men's record by the Afghanistan team. So, it's
so
pretty
Yulia
cool.
got 100. Yeah.
She got 100, the partner got a 50, so.
257 for the first wicket in a 2020, mate. Unbelievable. World record.
Spinning if you bat three. Not gonna hit.
Playing concrete though.
Yeah, it's excellent. Is there any more, Afi? Anyone else? Well, we've got 5 more minutes.
Ada pertanyaan lagi dari
Is there anyone else? I'll ask Sam one more question to finish off, or is anyone else?
There is one in chat. How to deal with your nervousness when you're facing strong opponents?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are you still nervous when you're playing a game?
Yeah, definitely. I think when a lot of professional players say once you stop getting nervous, it's probably time to pack it in. Probably mean, nerves is good. It means you care, care about yourself and care about the team. So I think nerves are good. But yeah, it's a tough one trying to embrace them. One, I think if you can, I try and just remember at the end of the day that it's a game of cricket. Like it's meant to be fun. It's sometimes hard to remember when you're playing in front of 30, 40,000 and the pressure's on. But yeah, that's what I try and focus on that. And I think if you know you've done the work and you're ready to go, then I think nerves, you have good nerves. I think if you're underprepared and you're probably not quite where you want to be, there's definitely some bad nerves. So I think you can sort of separate the nerves. But yeah, I just try and remember that it's just a game of cricket. It's meant to be fun. That's what I try and do.
Jadi Sam bilang nervous itu bagus karena itu artinya kalian care atau kalian peduli sama hal itu. Jadi tapi tetap diingat, dia bilang kuncinya tetap ingat aja ini cuma permainan kriket. Jadi sampai pada akhirnya ini cuma permainan, jadi bisa nggak masalah apapun yang terjadi lah gitu. I guess if you have any other questions, Andy.
Yeah, I got one more. Okay, Sam. 2 things. First one, the highlight of your career. One thing. What's the best moment in your cricketing career, do you reckon? You're only allowed to pick one. I think I know what it is, but go on. I want to hear it from you. Most memorable time as a cricketer that you just felt so good. One of the real highlights of your careers.
Meeting Andy, maybe.
You don't answer that.
Close second, Big Bash, I reckon.
Big Bash?
Yeah, I reckon I'm lucky enough to be part of 3 Big Bash titles. I think it's hard to go past. It's pretty hard to separate them, but just maybe my first one, but that tournament, we were underdogs. We just played really good team cricket. We didn't have any massive names. We just played good team cricket. Everyone did their job, and winning the Big Bash final, that was probably the most satisfying moment I felt on a cricket field, and the days to come. So look back with I'm very proud of that.
First one
And
was the sweetest one.
unfortunately, you want to change that, Afi? Translate?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh
And
iya.
also that,
Jadi tadi Andy bilang highlightnya apa, terus dia bilang menang juara Big Bash. Right, sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy. Yep.
Yeah, and then obviously the lowest point in your career and how you come back from it. I know as cricketers, a lot of people think it's traveling, staying in nice hotels, and they only see all the great things that the sporting life offers. But obviously, when you broke your finger, was obviously career threatening as well. It could have been all over as a wicketkeeper, like having shattered your finger. What was the lowest point of your career, and how did you come back from that?
It's a tough one because the third Big Bash title that we won, I broke my finger in that game, and then a couple of days later, I found out that I'd been picked for the Australian T20s against, I think it was Pakistan or something like that, and then also found out that I needed surgery a couple of days later. So it was such a high point to such a low point pretty quickly. And then just probably a year and a half of my finger not mending and having multiple surgeries. And then the last surgery before I went in, it was sort of do or die really for my cricket career. So I think that was probably a low point, especially finger injuries. Everything else is fine, but catching a cricket ball rock hard, it bloody hurts. So, that's definitely probably the low point. I wasn't sure, if I was ever going to get back and play cricket again, or what I was going to do. So, I was lucky to have some good help around me, and I guess to get through that, I just put in little step-by-step plans of ticking rehab goals, and then ticking playing my first game of cricket back. Then just working from there and trying to enjoy the game again, because I definitely fell out of love with cricket a little bit for a while. But
it can happen. Yeah, it
can happen, and I guess finding the way to enjoy cricket, because I think that's when you do your best, is when you're enjoying what you're doing. You're enjoying who you're spending your time with, and you're really passionate about the team you play for.
Yeah, fantastic, Sam. Yeah, we've got a bit of a motto in our training, and when we go out to play, we always perform better when we play with a smile. So, it can be the most basic and most obvious thing, but when you play with a smile, it actually brings out a good positive energy for the rest of the people around you. So, Sam, it's been awesome chatting, mate. Really appreciate your time today. All the best for the season. Hopefully when the borders open, I can bring you over to Bali for a training session at some time.
Or a bintang.
A couple of bintangs, only a couple of quiet ones. And just a couple. We'll be following you. You'll probably have another 2 million followers on your media stuff and everything, from Indonesians. So look, mate, just all the best. We'll keep in touch, and hopefully if you get another spare time next week or the week after, we can do this again with probably the other half of the national team. That would be fantastic. So from me, Sam, great to see you. Thanks very much. I'll just leave you over to Afi now just to say a couple more things. But thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Mungkin semuanya bisa dibuka kameranya. Saya mau ada sesi foto biar bareng. So we've got 50 participants here. So I'm very happy about it. On behalf of Cricket Indonesia, I'd like to say thank you to Sam for your time. I know we've gone a bit past of our time, but I really appreciate your feedbacks, tips for all of us. Hopefully we can meet sometime, maybe we come over there or you come over to Bali and meet with us. I wish you good luck to your season this year, or next season. Yeah. I'm happy and be in touch. Let's get a picture with everyone here. Open your camera, just smile. 1, 2, 3. Second page. We have 3 pages here, so.
Photographs.
Last page. All right. Thanks, Sam, for your time. What's your next target? What's next for Sam Whiteman? You've done a lot here, winning 3 Big Bash titles. Play for Australian A. So what's next steps for you?
I'd love to, play in a 4-day Sheffield Shield 4-day competition here. So we've made a couple of Shield finals in the past and we've lost. So for Western Australia, we haven't won in 20 odd years. So I'd love to be a part of that. That's probably I'd love to be a part of winning a trophy for WA. Yeah.
Well, we would wish you good luck on that. Hopefully you get another century in the Sheffield Shield. Well, thank you everyone. Makasih semuanya. Semuanya bisa bilang makasih ke Sam.
Terima
kasih.
Thank you.
Terima kasih semuanya.
Thank you, Sam.